Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's special romance card reading. I'm Erin Lee, and you can find the rest of my readings on my website, VancouverIslandPsychic.com. So today is February the 26th, 2014, and we're just coming out of Mercury retrograde, and for a lot of people there's been a lot that's been happening from a romantic perspective and from a relationship perspective. Just things have been changing, things feel like they've been upended, communication has been especially difficult for people, and things have been just very trying. And I've been seeing a lot of people recently going through some very major changes within their relationships and romantic relationships in particular, which is what's prompting this reading. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to choose one of the following three crystals to represent what's happening for you in your world. Your choices are carnelian, apatite, and citrine. Again, that's carnelian, apatite, and citrine. And we're going to be using two of Doreen Virtue's oracle card decks. We have the Romance Angels deck, and the Messages from Your Angels deck. So the first card is going to represent what's happening within the relationship, and the second card is representing what we need to be doing to be fixing it, or not doing to be fixing it. So for the people who chose, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose three cards. So this is the card for carnelian, and the card for apatite, and for citrine. There we go. And we'll just move those out of the way. So for the people who chose carnelian, the message that's coming up for you is codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life right now. So one of the big things that's coming up is that within this situation, whether it's romantic or other relationship, there's a lot of dependency that is happening, where you are calling upon the other person or where they are calling upon you, and it feels like the energy is kind of cycling through. So rather than having support group, support network outside of your relationship, the majority of what you're depending on is happening within the relationship, and that's something that needs to stop because it's an unhealthy aspect of the relationship. Now, it could be that it's something that is very temporary, that typically you have a very balanced relationship with yourself, with the people around you, and within your partnership, but that in this moment it's really important that you are looking outside of your relationship for that sense of support. There's also a feeling of passion that's coming up around the carnelian crystal as well, and so it feels like whatever your experience is really being fueled by emotion, and there's a lot that's coming up that's perhaps clouding judgment. And so one of the things that's really important for you is making sure that you are feeling grounded within this situation. For the people who chose apatite, the message that's coming up for you is passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. And so one of the things that's coming up with this is that it feels like it's really important that you're moving past the difficulties that you may be experiencing within a relationship, and that you're finding the passion within it. So it's kind of popping into my head that some of the people who have chosen this card are perhaps not in a relationship and are wanting and looking for a relationship. So the message that's coming up for you, if this is the case, is that it's important that you are doing things that you are passionate about in order to bring about that relationship, because the energy of being in a place of passion, of love, where you are feeling open and grounded is what brings and draws that in, particularly with apatite being a manifestation card. If you are within a relationship right now, it feels like it's really important that you are reconnecting with the other person who is involved. So if this is a romantic relationship, do things where romance is very open, where you're feeling really connected to each other and really drawn to each other. If this is a relationship for a friendship or something else along those lines where it's not romantic, make sure that you're doing things with the other person who is involved that is not concentrated on like the day-to-day with difficulties, but that you're doing something fun that both of you enjoy, and so kind of reconnecting and reigniting that sense of friendship and that sense of togetherness. And for the people who chose citrine, the message that's coming up for you is to make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So it feels like, first of all, whatever the situation may be, whether you are in a relationship, whether this is a friendship-based relationship, or whether you're looking for a romantic relationship, it's really important that you're putting it out there, that you're working within the relationship, and that you don't just kind of throw your hands up and say, that's it, I'm done. With with that, citrine is really popping up as being the crystal within this, and that's all about clearing. So if you find that you're getting to that point where you just say, I can't do this anymore, this is crazy, I'm not happy, it doesn't feel healthy, whatever it is, call on your angels, ask them for help and support in clearing the situation, do some etheric cord cutting if that's something that you're familiar with, and just ask your angels for help and support in this situation, because what I'm seeing is that this relationship, there is something that is worthwhile within it, and it's not time to let it go. So do whatever you need to do to kind of find that support and that balance. All right, let's ask for a bit of further information. So for the people who chose carnelian, the additional message that's coming up for you is Carissa. You are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and guide you to the next step. Happiness awaits you now. So it feels like whatever the situation may be for you, whatever it is that you're experiencing, that you're coming to the end of the difficulty that may be within that situation. So be really gentle with yourself and with your partner, or whatever the relationship may be, and really take some time away. Know that things are going to be getting better, but that it's really important that you're not trying to push or force things to be happening. And again, I'm going back to this message of codependency, where it feels like the energy is kind of getting gummed up within your relationship, and it's really important to kind of step outside of that, find that support outside of the relationship, and then move forward, because there is happiness and balance that is coming within the situation. The further message to Appetite is yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. So again, there's this feeling of kind of moving forward, not pushing forward, but just moving forward within your relationship. That it is important that you're doing things that you both mutually enjoy, that you're reigniting that sense of passion and reconnecting, but that the timing is starting to fall into place for you to be taking that next step. So particularly actually around commitment or any sense of taking things to the next level, it feels like the timing is right and appropriate for that. As much as you can, allow those walls of fear to come down and just embrace that. And the continued message for citrine is Archangel Raphael coming in, and he says, I am helping you heal physical challenges in yourself and others. You are a healer like me. So the message that's coming up within this situation is not only is this relationship, this situation worthwhile, but that there is healing that is happening within it. So one, please try to have patience with yourself and the other person or people involved with this situation. Know that there is healing that is happening, and that it's really important to give time and space to allow that healing to happen, because it is a situation, it is a relationship that is worthwhile. It's just calling on patience, it's calling on understanding, and it's asking you to be healing the difficulties that you're experiencing. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me for this week's special romance relationship in general reading. I'm Erin Lee, and you can find the rest of my readings on my website, VancouverIslandPsychic.com. I'm going to be trying my best to post this at some point later today so that you will have a chance to see it before next week's weekly psychic reading. But do know that I will also be doing a Choose Your Own Adventure crystal reading for the month of March that will be coming up in the next couple of days as well, so be sure to look for that. Thanks, and I hope you have a wonderful week.